Hey guys, 26 to Thailand, Thailand Rob. How's it going? Today I want to talk about Thailand's wonky beer hours. Now, before we get started, listen to the whole video to find out how wonky, and I like using that word because I wouldn't say it's crazy. I don't want to say anything that like wacko or whatever, but it's just some funky stuff that's happened. When you come to Thailand, you'll see at the 7-Elevens or the stores, you can see the posting that you're allowed to buy alcoholic beverages from 11 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Then they stop until 5 in the afternoon and then go till midnight. That's what's posted on the door, and that is the standard deviation rules set for Thailand's alcohol sales publicly. However, this is how it really is. I'm heading over here to Big Boy's Burger Club, notoriously known in Kamala, because my motorbike has a flat tire and the motorbike mechanic is right next door to it. So it's a perfect place for me to sit here and talk about all the wonky hours that you can get beer, where to get beer, and the time and the differences everywhere you go. You see behind me, see all these bars that are not open right now? This has nothing to do with the beer hours. They are mandated to close at night at a certain time, depending on their location. But in general, they're just waiting to open up in the afternoon rather than opening up early in the morning, because they're bars and they usually stay open till 2, and some stay open later if the customers stay there. Restaurants like this, on the other hand, we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, now as I was saying, those are the beer and wine and alcohol spirits hours for the stores. However, if you go into a mom and pop store, you will find that they'll probably sell it pretty much all day long. Depends, but more than likely, if it's not a corporate ran company, you can probably get your beers or your wines or whatever almost all day, all night, depending on when they're open. The only days that might even come in question is about 3-4 times a year we have the big Buddha holiday, which is a national big gigantic holiday. And then everything goes on lockdown. The bars, they close. Restaurants are open, but they're not supposed to serve anything. So those are the biggest days of the year. More bars that aren't open right now. But anyway, back to Big Boys. Most of those, on those days, a lot of stuff gets shut down. So you really should, if you want to have something at home, you should buy it the day before those big holidays. And now, something else that's completely different is also, depending on what part of Thailand you're in, the 7-Elevens may sell alcohol to you at any time of the day as well. You never know, it just depends on what location you're in, because some 7-Elevens are corporately owned and some are franchises, and some that are in franchises, and I'm not gonna say where they are because I just want to stay out of trouble. Sometimes they're just rule breakers, kind of like the people that stay in the area that they're in. Also, by the way, please let me know down in the comments what hours your country serves alcohol, or what state well, you know what I mean, in the comments. One thing that happened to me the other day that blew my mind, that made me want to do this video, was, okay, so we went back to the hours of being from 11 to 2 and then 5 to 12. Well, if you're in an airport, of course, an international airport, those rules are out the window, and it's 24 hours a day in there because it's an international airport. And in my span of flying all of my life, it's been pretty much, once you're on the airplane, again, and it's been, if you ordered an alcoholic beverage, usually there's 2 types of beers and 2 types of wines, and on some flights they might have spirits, not usually the smaller flights over here in Thailand. I don't think the budget flights carry a lot of spirits or not. However, most of the time if you was to order something, you would get it, and I've never wrote down in a journal anywhere what time of the day it was that I ordered. I know I normally take my trips at certain times of the day, but there are certain airlines that still follow the 11 to 2 policy and 5 to midnight policy, where other airlines are just like, no, you know, because you're in the air, it doesn't count. So here we got the standard time that you go to the 7-Elevens, the Big C's, not the Super Cheaps. Super Cheap does their whole other thing. It just depends on which Super Cheap you go to and which one they're doing. It could be 24 hours too, but I think it has to be unchilled beer. I can't prove that. I cannot prove that at all. It might just be everything. I don't know. Wacky. Wonky. Restaurants can open up at 6 a.m. in the morning to serve breakfast. So you can open up at 5 a.m. to sell breakfast if they want to. And they can close whenever they want to. Do you think that they can sell beer the whole time that they're open, or do you think they only sell alcohol during specific times? You got it. Whenever they're open, they're allowed to sell it. So I could walk into a 7-Eleven, be refused alcohol, literally walk to the breakfast place next door. Let's just say it's 6 o'clock in the morning, order scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, hash browns, and a Leo. Which I'm not saying I've never done. I'm not recommending it. Usually I'm a cappuccino kind of guy in the mornings, but just saying you could. The rule of restaurants shutting down alcohol sales at midnight or 2, I think coincide with the bars. I think it's still 2 a.m., but I don't have any proof of that either. And also there's always gonna be some place that closes their door, whether it's a restaurant or a bar, and if you got in before time, they're closed, but what happens behind closed doors just happens because you're closed and your guests have just not left yet, even though it's 7 in the morning. Not that I'm saying that I've ever been in a situation like that since the White Sun bar has been closed, but I remember some good old days. Yes. The main reason I'm making this video is I still can't figure out the pause from 2 in the afternoon to 5. I know every country around the world has their own hours of sales, but for the life of me, I can't figure out. In America, if I remember correctly, I think it starts at 7 a.m. and stops at 2 a.m. and it's an all day. And that's what if I remember correctly. But that's by state as well. So every state could vary a little bit. But to only start selling at 11 in the morning, I guess I get that. I mean, there's not a problem with that. But then to stop at 2. So from 11 to 2 would be a lunchtime over here like any other country. So they're saying, okay, well, if you have lunchtime, you can get off work, you can go and you can buy whatever you want to. But they don't want you buying it from 2 to 5, which just, if you guys know the answer to this or know any reason behind it, I would love it in the comments below, because you would be shedding a light not only for me but for everyone else watching this video that's just scratching their head going, yeah, what's up with the times on that one. The stopping at midnight, I kind of get that one, even though the bars are open until 2. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I get it. It's just, yeah. So that's the wonky hours of Thailand, and if I've forgotten anything, I'm just saying, if you go off the grid and you're up in Isan everywhere and it's just mom and pop, if mom and pops are open, they're gonna sell it to you. They might only have one type of flavor for you, but they'll sell it to you. And yeah, but there's some 7-Elevens around this country that'll do it too. Just depends on the location, depends on who owns it. And that's all I gotta say about that. Hope you guys had a good time. Enjoy it. Hope you had a giggle or two. And if you have any information or you want to tell me the hours in your country, leave them down in the comments below, please. Thank you.
Oh. Can you take this asshole back to America, please?
Woody, don't forget it.